guys, welcome to another Ark Taming series video with yours truly, Boston Chris from the Boston Chris Show. I appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. And we are after a creature today from the Additional Creatures Part 2 mod, which used to be called Kami Creations. This one is called the Kaikaifilu, and it is a mosasaur. And I'm really excited about trying to get this creature for the first time. We're going to learn about it. We're going to see what works and what maybe doesn't work. Just never know. We'll have to see how this goes. Let's get into it, and let's find us a Kaikaifilu. All right, so here we are. We are on Ragnarok, which is my private rented server here on Rag. And we are just to the east of Viking Bay. And there is a Kaikaifilu somewhere around here, very high level, and it's down below me somewhere. And we're going to go down there and look for it here in a moment. Now, the thing is these guys are typically found in the ocean, obviously, but on Aberration, they are found in the fertile chamber water and the bioluminescent chamber. On Genesis 1, they're in the ocean shallows, and Genesis 2, they're in Eden Lake. They're also in Gen 2 SUMP and Eden Water Spillways on Genesis 2. And we'll start taming one, and we'll get a little bit. We'll talk about them a little bit as well. But first, we need to get down into the depths with my Basilosaur Amacucetus. But here we go. Alright, so this is a mosasaur type creature, and I have to find it. I imagine it's down here below me somewhere. Is that it there? There it is right there. And there are a couple of megalodons. So what we're going to try to do is we have to clear the megalodons out of here first. It kind of looks like almost a combination of a mosasaur and a basilosaur, but we'll find out here in a minute what they're like. They are a passive tame, and they only eat organic polymer. That's it. That's all they eat. So we're gonna approach, and hopefully he's not mad. So here he is. So we're just gonna go up and feed him an organic polymer, and then we'll track him just in case things go awry. And of course, the taming taming time between the first and second tame should take a bit of time, just because it takes some time for the food value to drop after filling it all the way to the top. But we're going to try to stay close with my Binturong, which is on my back there. And he will add a debuff called Popcorn Scent that will essentially increase his food value drop. I'm going to actually get rid of my cam so you guys can see that as well. Just so you guys can see how that's working. So you can see that Popcorn Scent on there. And it's ready to eat. So we get off, and then we feed it again. Okay. Now it looks like every time you feed it, nope, it doesn't. Okay, so I was gonna say it looked like it went all the way back up. It looks like it's a little bit bugged by just swimming in a circle as well. There's another feeding. But once you feed it that first time, it's essentially gonna be ready every time. And my taming settings are 2 times or 2.5 times taming. Whatever the normal is, it's I think 2 times that. You know, plus the popcorn scent is also dropping his food value as well. So we're just trying to keep an eye on that Leopleurodon. Those Leopleurodons, there's 2 of them there. They're the really high level ones too, but they're making me nervous. They're making me extremely nervous right now. Megalodon did not mess it up, so we got lucky there. I should need 1 or 2 more. And then once we get him tamed, or her tamed, I will tell you some of the cool things that they offer. There's 1 more feeding, and then we just got 1 more to go. And then I'll take it back to the base. We'll look at the saddle, and what it costs to make and what level you have to be to get it. And so there we go. There's our first Kaikaifilu. And we're going to go ahead and grab her. And then we're just going to teleport back to the base so that we can make a saddle. And then check out what they do. Okay, so we're back at the base. And the very first thing we're going to do is unlock the saddle. Now, a normal Mosasaur saddle is level 78. But with the Kaikaifilu, they're at level 45. So a lot sooner in the game you can unlock them. And again, these mods here, the additional creature mods, whenever you get their saddle, engram learned, you just have to go to your own crafting section on your person. And that's where you can find the blueprints for the saddles for these mods, okay? So there's our Kaikaifilu engram, which is going to cost 120 cementing paste, 270 fiber, and 240 hide. So we're going to make 1 of those. Yep, so there we go. And then we are going to go to the ocean. And throw that bad boy in the ocean and see what it does. Okay? So let's get over there. Alright, so now that we're here, go ahead and cryo him up, and we're going to put the Kaikaifilu out here in the ocean. And we're going to test to see what it does. First, we're going to put the saddle on. Then I'm going to read you the dossier on this creature. There we go. We'll put the saddle on. You can see that the food value dropped quite a lot while we were feeding it. And it did not replenish all the way once it was tamed. The melee is pretty cool. The health is really high. We got weight that's really good. Stamina is really good. There is a lot of high stats for this guy. Alright. Which makes it a really good underwater tame. But we're going to throw some food on them so he can be happy. But yeah, you can see it's essentially a Basilosaur. But God, it's really fast. It's basically a Basilosaur, Mosasaur mashup. Now, the cool thing is you can actually take them out of the water. And you can indefinitely be out of the water with these guys. Okay? Like, indefinitely. They do not have oxygen here, right? So you can literally stay out of the water forever with them. Now, they don't have a lot of maneuverability on land, right? There's a left click, right click are essentially the same thing. You cannot jump, and the C key does kind of an aesthetic roar. Now, I want to read the dossier, though, before we get too far into this. So here we go. The Kaikaifilu, despite its size, isn't a dangerous predator to survivors unless provoked. The durable Mosasaur can be found in most open water habitats, but will often frequent areas where its favorite prey can be found, which is the Kairaku and the Hesperornis. Much like other penguin hunters, the Kaikaifilu can incorporate the biology of its prey into its own biology. The organic polymer's toxic compounds are extracted into the beast's jaws, where strong, hollow fangs pump the venom into whatever it gets a hold of in its jaws. Likewise, it can store the polymer in its body only to increase the levels, increasing its resistance to physical damage and other sources for a time. Adding on the fact that these mosasaurs can seemingly spend an indefinite amount of time on land, Kaikaifilu is an adaptable and solid mount for any survivor who wants a mosasaur but doesn't want to tangle with the hassle of taming a mosasaurus or a tylosaurus. Now, Some of the cool things about this creature is it has a 5 times harvest multiplier for organic polymer. So whenever it's eating like penguins or things like that, it will harvest the polymer from the penguins 5 times more quickly. You'll get 5 times as much. It also only eats organic polymer for taming and can be on land for an indefinite amount of time. Now, when you have organic polymer in the inventory of this creature, it reduces the weight of organic polymer to 25%, and it also extends the spoil timer of organic polymer by 10 times. So you can see the spoil timer on this organic polymer is 1 hour 44 minutes. You put it in the other creature, and it's up to 17 hours 28 minutes. This creature is also immune to electrocution, venom, and squid ink, which means that you can kill and harvest biotoxin from the jellyfish with it, okay? Now, the left click, as we saw on land, we're going to actually get him into the water there. But the left click does a good amount of damage, and it inflicts venom. So whenever you bite something, you will inflict the venom on that creature, and the venom will stack up to 10 times. And each stack lasts 20 seconds. Sorry. Each stack. So I'm not seeing the... Okay, so there's the venom on the hammerhead. So you can see that it is stacking like crazy on the hammerhead. And that venom is just tearing his ass up, dude. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Now, it didn't work on the basilosaur, though, so they must be immune to venom. So the venom is not going to work on creatures that are immune, obviously, right? Let's see here. Now, oh, I see why. Okay, that makes sense. So the venom only works on creatures that have 850 drag weight or less. So maybe the basilosaur is higher than that. It also deals 2.25 base damage every 3 seconds, which is multiplied by the melee stat. But it's also affected by armor and resistance. However, each stack will drain 1.75 HP per second, kind of like rabies. Meaning a full stack will drain 17.5 HP per second. We can use this to kill opponents through their resistance and armor. Now, the right click does a heavy bite. Now, on land, this is particularly useless, especially with its stamina cost and cooldown. But in the water, the heavy bite becomes a lunge, and this lunge variation deals 25% more damage than normal. And if it hits a target that's 250 drag weight or less, it will stun them. So let's try this lunge. So it's right click. Okay, I see what it means. So yeah, it does. It kind of just keeps them there. Look at that. It stuns them. That is pretty dope. Wow, yeah, that's pretty dope. That lunge is cool. Now, again, the C key is a aesthetic roar, just like that. And then the X key activates something called polymer armor. And provided you have at least one organic polymer in your inventory, you can deduct one organic polymer per second to upkeep a polymer armor buff. But this will increase your resistance by 25% whenever it's active. So I can hit X, and you can see it says extra armor enabled, which you can also see in the upper right part of your screen. Right up here, up there in the upper right. You can see polymer armor. As long as you have organic polymer in your inventory, you will have that symbol. but it is deducting 1 polymer per second, okay? So just keep that in mind. But again, it increases your resistance by 25%, which is a good amount. Now, the left control does a tail attack. It looks like that. And this is good for hitting targets that are behind you. But it's also good for collecting pearls. So, like, if you see pearls at the bottom here, like right here, we can hit the left control, and it picks up 80 silica pearls, see? So that's pretty dope. So this would be a good creature to collect pearls with. That lunge is really OP. That is really cool. I like that a lot. Guys, this creature is really nice. Another amazing creature from Tame and Shadlow, called the Kaikaifilu. Very cool creature. It maneuvers a lot like the, it maneuvers a lot like the Moza, but it definitely looks more like a, the Silosaur. So you can see, like, we've stunned the Megalodon, and now I'm just stacking Venom on him. Look at this. And you can stack 20 stacks of Venom. Or is it 10? 10 stacks of Venom, sorry. Look at that, man. The Venom is just tearing him up. That is cool. Alright, I'm not going to kill him. Maybe he'll die with the stacks. I don't know, but let's see if he'll die. I think he'll be fine. Maybe not. Did it die? It did die. Wow. And so this is cool as well. You can literally go on land with these guys. Again, I don't see a real good point for this right here. Unless you're just trying to get across, you know, like a little narrow spit of land. Just to get to a different part of the ocean or something. I can see this being useful. But, like, otherwise not really, to be honest. But it is really, really fast in the water. Not so much on the land. But yeah, there is the Kaikaifilu. An interesting mid-game creature from Additional Creatures Part 2. Another awesome creature. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, show it some love by hitting the like button. You can, of course, subscribe to see more like this. We release a new Ark Taming video every single week. So make sure you're tuning in, and I will catch you down the road.